Hey everybody, so recently I've been thinking about 2021 and it's made me think about how a new year is a funny thing. I mean, it's often marked, this season at least, it's marked by resolutions which are often overly ambitious or, let's be frank, poorly thought out. They're the folks, and if we're honest, we are the folks that end up joining up for things like a gym membership. And you go to that for about 2 weeks and then you have to sit on their books continuing to pay for another 3 months before you can leave. I've been there, willing to bet maybe you have too. But what I've been thinking about this new year and really what it means for us to think about things around this time of New Year's, what it means. On the one hand, a new year is a nice marker. It's a good time to evaluate what is more and most important to us. And personally, I've actually started working on what the old monastic call a rule of life, which is really intentionally choosing what are the things I need in my life in order to thrive. It isn't a resolution, as if we're going to white knuckle or just will ourselves to change, which is normally what we do this time of year, but it's trying to take a more strategic approach. We often presume that our sense of spirituality and spiritual growth should just kind of be free form and spontaneous, that we do things as the Spirit prompts us. And while the Bible shows some examples of that, it shows many more examples of people being deliberate and making deliberate choices, right? In Luke 14, for example, Jesus tells us to count the cost of what it means to follow him, what it means to try to live like him. And then if we can pay it, and only if we can pay it, then he tells us to try. And that's what I'm thinking about and what I think about often. How do we actually follow Jesus? How do we model our life after him, to apprentice under him? And if we're frank in doing this for real, then can I write down my plan? What elements need to be there in order for you and me to follow Jesus throughout the year? And that's the thing I'm thinking about. How do you use your resources, financial, emotional, and resources of time to follow Christ? And to do that, what gets your attention? And that's the question I think around the beginning of this year, not about resolutions and whiz-bang ideas, but how do we do intentionally and on purpose follow Christ in this new year? The question I want to leave with you today is a fairly simple one, is if you wanted to follow Christ in 2021, what are the 2 to 3 things you would do? And if you knew and know, could you actually write those down? Can you make them concise enough to write them down? Could you do those things ahead of time, on paper and on purpose, to be open to the Spirit, but to do it intentionally and deliberately? And friends, however this new year has hit you, I want to say grace and peace to you and all of us as we live this out together. Thanks a lot, everybody. Have a good week, and I'll see you around.